But do you know which is the best-selling candy bar today? The friend said no, then Warren Buffett softly said Snickers. And the conversation ended there. Warren Buffett believed, but you only know about Titanic because that is the only story that has been told to people, that is why you know about it. You may not know the data of how many people died in the Syrian refugee crisis. But you must have seen this photo of a 3-year-old child Aylan Kurdi. This one photo made the whole news worldwide. Due to which many world leaders came into action and addressed that crisis. The world runs on stories, not data. Charles Darwin did not discover the evolution theory for the first time. Many people had claimed the evolution theory before him. But the world knows Charles Darwin today because he presented that theory with the most compelling story. The author of the book, Sapiens, which has sold more than 21 million copies, says that, "I have not discovered anything new, I have just presented facts with stories." Stephen Hawking has also written in his book, A Brief History of Time, that, every equation written in a physics book slows down sales. He also believed that people need memorable stories and not lectures. 3. Seek permanent information. There are two types of information in the world, one is permanent and the other is expiring. Most news and social media posts are expiring information. After a few days or months, that information is no longer useful and that kind of content consumes most of your attention. Because the internet is full of such things. Whereas finding permanent information is very difficult because it is hidden in the pages of history, expiring information only tells you what happened, but permanent information also tells you why it happened. And what are the factors that such incidents will keep happening in future? Girls are gold diggers. This is incomplete and expiring information. But understanding female psychology is permanent information. No matter how much you use the internet, as long as you consume expiring information, there will be no change in your life. So give your time and attention to such content which does not change even in the coming years. I share such a treasure of permanent information in my private community. To try it for free, click on the link given in the description, and whenever you consume any content, then ask yourself whether this information will matter even after 5 years. If yes, then only look ahead. 4. Terrible events breeds innovation. When people are happy, the whole world is running peacefully and nothing innovative happens at that time. People do something only when their survival is in danger. In 1930, when a very big economic depression was going on, the output of American factories increased by 41%. At the same time, they built the maximum number of highways and electric grid lines. Actually, work is done only under stress and urgency. The militaries are considered the engine of innovation, because they deal with such urgent and vital problems, that there is no question of money and manpower. World War II was a very stressful time. The whole world was in a stressful situation because of Adolf Hitler. At the same time, many incredible innovations like radar, the internet, microwave ovens, antibiotics and GPS took place. If you remove all the bad events from the world, you will also remove innovation along with it, then prepare a mini-war type situation for yourself. Disappear for a few days and work on yourself. 5. World is driven by envy. Investor Charlie Munger used to say that the world is driven by envy and not greed. 30 to 40 years ago, the household used to run well even with very little money. Everyone used to live happily. Today, people's lifestyle is many times better than in 1950. People have better infrastructure, education, health care and connectivity. But still, the satisfaction and happiness level of people is many times lower than in 1950. Because after the Second World War in 1945, the condition of 99% of the people was the same, and everyone's lives had improved to the same extent. That's why the overall population was happy and satisfied. But after that, inequality kept increasing. The wealth gap between the rich and the poor kept increasing. And with the advent of social media, people started showing off that wealth. The standards of comparing lifestyle, relationships, skin color and body shape became international. Due to this, the expectations of common people have increased so much that, even after improvements in their lives, people do not get happiness and satisfaction. There is a saying in France, it's easy if you just want to be happy, but it's impossible if you want to be happier than others. And this is the reason for your sadness, because wealth and happiness are not objective but relative. In India, the son of a village sarpanch would consider himself rich by purchasing a Fortuner. Because everyone around him is poor. His wealth will be considered poverty in Singapore. 6. The last lesson, never meet your heroes, otherwise, you will be disappointed. John Maynard Keynes was a great fan of Newton. He once bought all the original papers of Isaac Newton in an auction, which the world had never seen. John Maynard considered Newton to be the smartest human being in the world and believed that Newton would be completely scientific. But when he read the original papers of Newton, then he came to know that Newton believed in things like black magic and immortality herb. Now this thing was quite shocking for John Maynard because he considered him brilliant. And he never thought that Newton would be interested in such magical powers. Due to which his heart got broken. When you get close to a person, you start seeing his flaws. When you see his carefully crafted personality from behind the curtain, then perception and reality do not match. But you should understand one thing: those whose good habits are different from the world, their bad habits are also different from the world. People who are abnormally masters in one thing will be fools in other things. Therefore, maintain some distance from those people whom you want to respect till your death, because, if you try to know more about them, then there are 80% chance that there will be something about them that you will not like at all. And you will lose respect for them. There are many people whom I respect a lot, so to maintain that respect I never want to meet them. Because they are also human beings, they too will have some shortcomings which I do not want to see, that I want to keep them ideal. Look boss, now if I tell you the summary of this entire video. 1. Invest in preparedness, not in prediction. Don't try to predict the future. Stop guessing and read history, because history always repeats. The more history you read, the more you will become comfortable for future changes. Point 2. Stories are more powerful than statistics. People need memorable stories, not lectures. 3. Seek permanent information. Consume such content which remains relevant even after years. For which check my private community. The link is in the description. 4. Terrible events breeds innovation. 5. World is driven by envy. The world is driven by envy and not by greed. No matter how much technology